Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanshan Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhantam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
You want to turn that
Rama,
chanting part, please?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai, Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Kartik Vrat Damodar Mas ki jai, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Jai Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Haribol, 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 Haribol. Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Tayam Vishnupad Paramahansa, Parivrakacharya, Stotra Siddha Shishimaj's Divine Rays, Abhayachana Vrindam Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantaraj Shri Krishna Book Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Nitago Premanandi, all gross assembled devotees, all gross assembled devotees, all gross assembled devotees, all gross Lord of Sri Guru and Shiva Lord of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, can you just turn those lights on? It's just a bit difficult to see. Thank you, Jason. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahima. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahima. So, those of you coming for the first time, this is a special month. This month is called the month of Damodar, and the devotees, particularly the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in Vrindavan, they celebrate this very, very celebrated month. It's a very, very special month. And Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna performs many pastimes when he comes on the planet. And Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, as Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, very unique form of the Lord. And particularly this form of the Lord is so unique, is directly coming from the spiritual world. In one day of Brahma, which is like say 4,000 Kali Yugas, there's different avatars, incarnations of Krishna, descendants of Krishna, and they all usually take the form from Vishnu, Shiradakshay Vishnu. But this one particular Kali Yuga, in one day of Brahma, Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, Krishna comes himself in his most original form. And Krishna comes to attract us so that we can go back towards him. And his wonderful pastimes are all described there in the 10th canto. And Srila Prabhupada, he very kindly left us this wonderful book called the Krishna book, which summarizes the 10th canto. Srila Prabhupada didn't know how much time he had on the planet. His time was very limited. Prabhupada knew the essence of the Bhagavatam was the 10th canto. When you look at the different cantos, the first canto starts off with the lotus feet. Generally, when we take darshan, we take the lotus feet darshan, and we work our way slowly, each canto revealing different limbs of the Lord. The ankles, the calves, the hips, the abdomen. And then the 10th canto reveals what? Yes, Jason? The face, the beautiful smiling face of Krishna. So the essence of the 10th canto is presented by Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book, and now until the end of Kartik we will be reading different pastimes. So today's pastime we're going to be looking at chapter 7, the salvation of Trinavarta. There's two pastimes that happen in this particular episode, this particular chapter. At the beginning, Srila Prabhupada, in one incident, doesn't explain that there's a certain demon. And then the second one, there's Trinavarta. According to time, we can just go and see it. So I'll read a little bit and then discuss, read a little bit and discuss. And if anyone wants to, they can also give the realization. It's Dibya Gan is two-way channel coming, Sharvanam Kirtanam, so it's a two-way flow. So I'm happy to say some things, and if anybody also, I'm not over here king of the castle ruling with a tyrannical rule, so I'm happy to hear other realizations. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always full with 6 opulences. What are the 6 opulences? Let's hear them. Beauty, strength, others? Opulence, whenever, yeah, that's opulence. Beauty, strength. Renunciation, yes. Sorry? Wealth, yeah. Krishna's got so much wealth. 2 more left. Fame. No one is more famous. Everywhere around the world, this graced Damodar. Prabhupada has nearly 800 temples just in ISKCON. Someone is glorifying Krishna, performing Mangalati, offering Arti, doing a bhoga. Who can claim that 800 places Krishna, you've been fed? Only Krishna. So he has fame. And the last one? Knowledge. That's right. Knowledge is very important. We all, from the beginning of our coming up, we imparted knowledge, and knowledge is given to us. We go to nursery, school, and finally we get that degree. Yay. But Krishna has all knowledge. He has the supreme knowledge. And how do we know that? What's one of the most famous books he's spoken? Jason Prabhu? The Bhagavad Gita, the Song of the God. It's such an amazing book. Even though it's spoken 5,000 years ago, it's still relevant here today. And we are all studying the Bhagavad Gita. So the Lord appears in different, complete, eternal forms of incarnation. So Krishna has many, many incarnations that he comes down. Name me some of the incarnations that Krishna comes. Like I said, I'm going to keep you on your toes a little bit. Someone different from Jason. Mataji over there, sorry to put you on the spot. Some of the incarnations. We're going to, Parashuram, we're going to be celebrating one just in a couple of weeks' time. Ram, that's right, well done. Balaram, that's right, fantastic. Nashingadev, yes. So these are some of the different incarnations. The conditioned soul has immense opportunity to hear about the transcendental activities of the Lord in these different incarnations. So all these different incarnations, the pastimes, what the Lord got up to, what his days were, are all explained in the scriptures, the Vishnu Purana. And the topmost of all scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam, Amala Purana, the spotless Purana. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, Janma Karma Chama Divyam. Anyone know what that means? Yeah. That's right. This is a very famous, and I've been told, you can check it up, this is one of the most quoted verses by Srila Prabhupada. Janma Karma Chama Divyam. It's explaining the karma, the activities of the Lord. Of course, karma means activities, but what's the Lord's activities? Yes? Yeah. Prabhu? Transcendental. So when we get up in the morning, it's mundane. When we write our stuff, it's mundane. When we do stuff, it's totally mundane and it's pretty boring. If you want to follow my life, it's pretty boring. But if you follow Krishna's life, wow, it's pretty transcendental. It's pretty amazing. And then when you talk about Krishna's pastimes, you become really enlivened. I remember one day I came from a long drive and I had some rehearsals, and then some guests came afterwards. And one devotee said, oh, some new guests have come first time. Would you like to speak to them? And I was thinking, oh, I'm really tired. And then when I said, yes, always say yes to service, always say yes to preaching, always say yes when guests come. Anyway, after 1 hour, can you believe it? I was talking about Krishna, was Krishna's pastimes, and I felt all enlivened afterwards. I felt awake. All my senses came. So when we talk about Krishna's pastimes, then we become enlivened. The pastimes and activities of the Lord are not material. They are beyond the material conception. And the conditioned soul can benefit by hearing such uncommon activities. So we always hear different kinds of activities going on, different people which are famous people, But Krishna's activities are very, very uncommon. Tell me some of the uncommon activities of Krishna. Govardhan Hill. We'll be celebrating Govardhan Puja very, very soon. And try this if you can. Try and lift even a cup of water for 7 days and 7 nights. Never mind a whole hill. So some of the activities of Krishna are completely uncommon. It's not possible. One of the ones that blows everyone's minds, he married 16,108 wives. Not an easy task. But somehow or other, Krishna pleased all of them, and they all seem very happy. Hearing is an opportunity to associate with the Lord. Now, this is really interesting. We all want to be with someone, isn't it? And generally we think to be with someone physically is to be in their presence, to have the association. But here it explains by hearing about Krishna, it's the same as being in the association of Krishna. Isn't, I don't know if anyone has these feelings that when you read Prabhupada's books, and especially the purport, you feel like Prabhupada is reading them to you, isn't it? You feel that Prabhupada is there. So even in that kind of context, we feel the presence of Prabhupada. So when you hear the activities of Krishna, which are uncommon, we are actually directly associating him through hearing. And actually the first process of spiritual life is actually hearing. Because we have a tendency that we always want to just talk. We want to be heard, we want to be known, isn't it? We're always trying to butt into someone talking, That's our nature because of the way we are. But hearing is very, very important. So his activities is to evolve one's transcendental nature simply by hearing. The conditioned soul has natural aptitude to hear something about other conditioned souls in the form of fiction, drama, and novel. So we read so many novels, We read To Kill a Mockingbird, of Mice and Men, all these books we read. We go to drama, we go and see, Wicked, we go and see something like that. Or if you're lucky, you go and see drama, Bhaktivedanta players, which will be performing in 2 weeks' time, or novels. So we all like these things, but they're all mundane. But when we hear the activities of Krishna, we become enlivened. The inclination to hear something about others may be utilized by hearing in the pastimes of the Lord. So we all like to hear, we all like a bit of gossip in life, isn't it? But that's our nature. We read OK magazine or Hello magazine or TV magazine. We want to know about others' activities, So Reader's Digest, whatever it may be. But here it's explained that if we listen to the activities of Krishna, then actually that is more enlivening. That's more beneficial. Then one can immediately evolve to his transcendental nature. Krishna's pastimes are not only beautiful, they're also very pleasing to the mind, isn't it? I can see all the smiles, and look at that lady smiling so nicely. So when we hear about Krishna, we all have an ear-to-ear grin smile, because we all love to hear about Krishna. If someone takes advantage of hearing the pastimes of the Lord, the material contaminations of dust accumulated in the heart due to the long association with material nature can be immediately cleansed. So our heart is filled with many, many birds of dust. Who does cleaning? House cleaning. Anyone does house cleaning? You don't, Jason. Stop lying. You get someone else to do it. So when you clean, isn't it? This is the way you do, isn't it? To see how much dust is there on the furniture, on the TV. So we have all accumulated so much dust in many, many lifetimes. But it explains this dust, this covering can be removed by hearing and listening and chanting about the activities of the Lord. And then when something becomes cleansed, what does it feel? Nice. If you go to a dirty house, it don't feel so nice. If you go to a clean place, you feel very, very nice. So your consciousness, your mind becomes cleansed when you hear the pastimes of the Lord. If someone takes advantage of hearing the pastimes of the Lord, the material contaminations of dust accumulated in the heart due to long association with material nature can be immediately cleansed. Lord Chaitanya also instructed that simply by hearing the transcendental names of the Lord can cleanse the heart of the material contamination. And what's that transcendental name that we chant all the time? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So sometimes it's not always easy to sit in a class. Sometimes it's not always listen to a lecture. No one wants to be lectured. But we can simply chant, sit down peacefully. We'll be having aarti soon, and we can just chant. No one telling you what to do or what not to do. Chanting has the same effect. Okay. There are different processes for self-realization, but this process of devotional service, of which hearing is the most important function, when adopted by any conditioned soul, will automatically cleanse him from all material contaminations to realize his real constitutional position. What is the constitutional position of the soul, Cyrus? Servants, Swarup. Krishna Swarup is to serve Krishna. Krishna Nitya Das. We are to be the servant of Krishna. So in the material world, we want to be bosses. We want to be the top. But actually, we should be servant. Gopi, Bhattapada, Kamalayu, Dasu, no Dasa. We are the servant of the servant of the servant. 7 times. Okay, so conditioned life is due to the contamination only, and as soon as it is cleansed off, then the natural dormant function of the living entity rendering service to the Lord awakens. So when you're sleeping, you don't kind of know what's going on. But when you awaken, then you're aware of the surroundings. So when we're sleeping in Maya, we don't know what's going on. But as soon as we awaken, then we become aware, which is our position to serve Krishna. By developing his eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, one becomes eligible to create friendship with devotees. Maharaj Pariksha recommended from practical experience that everyone try to hear about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. This Krishna treatise is meant for that purpose, and the reader may take advantage of it to attain the ultimate goal of human form of life. So this Manusha Janam, this form that we have, is very, very rare. It is called Uttam. After 8,400,000 species of life, we have obtained this Uttam, this human form of life. And it is explained, we need to make sure we use it. And by using this human form of life, by taking advantage of it, then we can attain our real constitutional position is to be with Krishna. The Lord, out of his causeless mercy, descends to the material world and displays his activities like an ordinary man. So the Lord is Atmarama. He's satisfied in the spiritual world. He's got everything there. But out of his causeless mercy and his love for us, he comes in this world. His activity is just like ordinary. Unfortunately, the impersonalists or the atheist class of men consider Krishna to be ordinary men like themselves, and so they deride him. This is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself. He says, anyone know the verse? Avijanta ma muda. So muda means some ignorant person. So sometimes when Krishna walked the planet 5,000 years ago, they didn't realize that Krishna was the supreme personality. One Muda was Duryodhana. The Muda or rascals take Krishna to be an ordinary man or slightly more powerful man. Out of their great misfortune, they cannot accept him as the supreme personality of Godhead. Sometimes such unfortunate persons misrepresent themselves as incarnations of Krishna with referring to the authorized scriptures. So when Krishna grew up a little more, so we've had Krishna's experience yesterday, now Krishna is growing up. That's explained here. He began to turn himself back upside. So when you have a little baby, you can see him there moving a little bit and things like that. And he not merely just lie down on his back. And another function was observed by Mother Yashoda. Krishna's first birthday. What's his birthday called? Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahomotsava Ki. So this first birthday of Krishna is celebrated all throughout the world. And it's a big function that takes place in all four corners of the world. So this is Krishna's first birthday party. If you're a parent, then do you remember the first birthday you had of your child? I remember the first birthday of my child. It's a great joyous occasion. To have a child in your life is great, joyful, and to celebrate the first birthday joyful. So Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj arranged a big festival. And then Brahmins were invited, friends were invited, family. The whole Vrindavan was decorated very, very nicely. They arranged for Krishna's birthday ceremony, which is still observed by all followers of the Vedic scriptures. All the cowherd men and women were invited to participate in a jubilant celebration. A nice band played, Chennai music and different things. Who likes to listen to a band? Not the Beatles, is it? So nice music was played. Everyone likes music. Music is very, very soothing. And the assembled people enjoyed it. All the learned Brahmins were invited and they chanted Vedic hymns. Om Tad Vishnu Paranam Param Sara Pasyanti, for the good fortune of Krishna. During the chanting of the Vedic hymns and playing of the bands, Krishna was bathed by Mother Yashoda. So, of course, we have Janmashtami, the Abhishek. Then Krishna is bathed very nicely. Radha Gokulan is bathed. We have a nice pujari over here, Jagat Priya, who arranges the different festivities. So, what kind of things does Krishna get bathed in? Prabhu? Yogurt, honey, fruit juices, milk, ghee, Ganga Jal, so many different kinds of substances Krishna is bathed in. So this Abhishek was taking place, and Yashoda took a bath and dressed herself nicely. So this is the tradition. When you have a festival, you have a nice bath, you pull out your nice clothes, and then we attend the festivities. Krishna was duly dressed and bathed and put on the lap, and she sat down to hear the Vedic hymns chanted by the Brahmins. When Mother Yashoda was listening to the chanting of the Vedic hymns, the child appeared to be falling asleep. It's like when I give class, you all start to fall asleep, isn't it? So it's a natural thing that when someone is like, listening to something, you might fall asleep. So Mother Yashoda was likewise falling asleep, and let me see, sorry. No, the child was falling asleep. I beg your pardon. The child was falling. So it's a nice, comfortable position, and thereby she slightly laid Krishna on the bed. Of course, we know it's a bed, but it's not explained over here. But where was Krishna placed? Underneath the cot. And then being engaged in receiving all friends, relatives, and residents of Vrindavan, on that holy occasion, she forgot to feed child the milk. So same episode that we're celebrating, Damodar Leela. Krishna was very, very hungry. She put Krishna down to attend the boiling milk. So we have the same incident. It seems like a reoccurring situation. Mother Yashoda. Mothers get busy, so don't knock Mother Yashoda. This explains that she has all these people to attend to. So she's very, very busy. She's invited everyone. We have to look after, make sure the guests are happy, especially if Durvasa Moon is coming. Don't upset that guest, otherwise woe betide, But so then, of course, sometimes the mothers, they forget the child because, I remember one family was telling me they went to some park. And they went to the park, and then after the park festivities were finished, they went home. And then the mother noticed there's one child missing. Where is this child? They left him at the park. So, it does happen sometimes, you get very busy. So then Krishna was feeling a bit hungry, feeling a bit neglected. No one wants to be neglected. Anyone wants to be neglected? Hands up. We all want some bit of attention. We all want a bit of a love. So Krishna wanted a little bit of love. He wanted some attention from Yasoda in the form of nice milk, dudu. Being engaged in receiving all the friends of Vrindavan. He was crying, being hungry, but Mother Yashoda could not hear him crying because of the various noises that were going on. The child, however, became very angry. So when you don't feed a child, the child becomes very upset, becomes very, very angry. Don't put yourself in that position that you make the kid angry by not feeding them. Then the child, however, became angry because he was hungry and mother was not paying attention. So he lifted his legs and began to kick his lotus feet like an ordinary child. So sometimes you see the kids, they're kicking their legs up in the air. How old is Krishna? 1 year old. So he's lying, imagining a little kid, 1 year old, kicking up in the air. And then he was placed under the cart. And then his lotus feet, what happened to the cart? That's right, his lotus feet touched the cart. But little did anyone know there was a demon, boo, hiding underneath the cart. So the tyrannical demon, his name was Kamsa, when he heard that Krishna was in Vrindavan, he tried very hard to try and kill Krishna in Mathura. But then, when he found out that Krishna was living in Vrindavan, he would send different demons to try and get rid of Krishna. He already sent Putana, and now, anyone know the name of this demon? That's right, I can't pronounce it. Can you say it? That's right. So this demon was there, made himself like one of the locals and hid behind the cart, isn't it? And then he was waiting for the opportunity to try and take Krishna and try and hurt Krishna. But no one is smarter than Krishna. Krishna is the smartest. If you think you can outdo Krishna, then you're in a big, big illusion. There was one person, he thought he could outsmart God's creation, and his name was Hiranyakashipu. He didn't want to die. So he tried all these vardhans, all this benediction. I don't want to be killed in the day or the night. I don't want to be killed inside or outside, on the land or the sea, man or beast. But somehow or another, even though he had all these powerful benedictions, he couldn't outdo nature or God. So in this way, this demon, although he tried to get Krishna, then Krishna was smarter. Krishna's lotus feet touched the cart and it collapsed, and all the copperware, all the Tupperware, all the things that were on the cart. And if you've ever been to India, anyone been to India? And have you seen how much they put on a cart? Have you seen it? Poor old donkey. Ah. 1, 2, 3, everyone. Ah. And they put so much things, it just piles up and piles up. Imagining this big pile of things just falling on top of you. Ah, comes hurtling down. And this is what the demon felt. And then as soon as the cart collapsed, there was a big, tremendous sound. And there was a silence like this one over here. And everyone turned their head. Have you been in a room when someone's dropped a plate or dropped something and there's a silence and everyone looks? So then everyone looked over then. Of course, Mother Yashoda, she saw that Krishna is where this crash was. So immediately she went over there. She saw Krishna was okay. They cleared everything. And then everyone was wondering what was the cause of this collapse. It didn't just collapse on its own. So some boys were there playing and they were watching, and they were saying maybe they think it was Krishna's feet that touched the cart that caused the cart to collapse. Then people started laughing. How can a 1-year-old baby's feet touch a cart and collapse? So then they didn't believe that story. So then they cleared everything up. Then Mother Yashoda was worried. Naturally, if you're a mother, naturally, if you have a child, then if some bad omen, some ill happens, you want to make sure that the child is protected. So what did Mother Yashoda do? Sorry? That's right. So then the Brahmins were already there at hand. So then Mother Yashoda worried about baby Krishna, then got the Brahmins to chant some special prayers, some special mantras to try and protect the child. So although Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, still the relationship that Mother Yashoda had with Krishna was one of intimate, loving relationship. And she felt that she was a protector of Krishna. Even in this Damodara Leela, there's no possible way that anyone can try and capture God. It's literally impossible. So many people have tried. Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kumbhakana, one way or another. But God cannot be conquered like that. How can God be conquered? with love, with prema, with bhakti. That is the only way that Krishna or God be captured. And that is the essence of what this month is, to try and get the attention of Krishna. We all want Krishna to acknowledge that we're here, and the best way we can do that is to perform bhakti, and that is what attracts Krishna. Krishna is not attracted with anything but bhakti. Because Krishna, what did we say at the beginning? What is Krishna? He's Atma Rama. He has everything. He's served by 16,000 wives. Literally everything he has. So you cannot bluff your way that way. Like Ravana tried to build a staircase to heaven. A song, Staircase to Heaven. You can't do anything like that. You can't build a staircase to Vaikuntha or Goloka. The only way is through bhakti. And then we were listening at the beginning, Prabhupada was explaining, how does bhakti come about? How does bhakti come about? Yes? Hearing the pastimes. This is why we could be doing so many things, but we're here to hear the pastimes of Krishna and chant Hare Krishna, Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Yashoda Krishna ki, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai.
Yashoda Damodarastakam ki. Namah. Okay, so now we're going to sing the Damodarastakam. It's a very special prayer which we sing during the month of Kartik, and everyone will have the opportunity to offer a candle as well. Namami Shwaram Sajit Anandarupam Lasatuna Lam Gokule Brajamanam. Namah-Shairam Sajit Anandarupam Asat-Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Yashoda Viyalu Kaladavanam Param Visa
Te mukham bojam matya
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the translation of the beautiful song that we just sang. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he's crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balagopala in Vrindavan may be ever manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boons beside this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakavera, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any other kind of liberation. Oh Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope that binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and offer all obeisances unto you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai.
दामोदर भगवान की, राधा श्याम सुंदर की, राधा गोकुलानंद की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की. ऊपर हाथ करके raise your hand. Krishna given your hand. जिसने भगवान ने जिसको हाथ दिया हाथ ऊपर करो. Raise your hand. Come on. Krishna given your hand. Come on. Hari Bol. So say behind me, we are all defeated by Maya. We are in Maya. So we have to surrender to Krishna, right? From the heart and soul. Raise your hand up. Louder, okay? From core of your heart. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Louder, come on. You got more energy than, you say. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, गोनिधाय की, दामोदर मंथ की, श्रीमती राधा रानी की, भक्तिवेदांत मनोर की, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Thank you very much. That's your credit in Krishna's account. Hare Krishna. Just coming back and coming to Aarti, before that I was listening to about the discussion between King Raghuguna and Bharat Maharaj. So he says the only thing will be take you and get rid of your problem to surrender it fully to Krishna. So when we sing full from the heart, and that will be clean our all desire, material desire. And that will be take us back to God. And nothing else, no less. If you read in Srimad Bhagavatam, discussion between King Raghuguna and Bharat Maharaj. It's just Jad Bharat. So I was just 1 hour I was listening and that was completely, freaked me out. Hare Krishna, thank you.
That was nice. Nogle gange så går man lige snakke. Der filosoferer man godt om det. Jeg kan lige sidde deroppe, der er nogle stole lige heroppe. Number two is taking that out like that. And then just put all this into one side and then we'll get rid of it. And sure. Then, so just do that. Okay? Every day should be a day to sing. Should that just be Wednesday this, Thursday this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard it was just. Oh really?
Sorry, repeat your name. Repeat me your name.
How come nobody knows my name here?
What's your style? What style? I think that's
Mohan. What with this? Just everything over here? No.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Guru Maharaj Kamita?
Kamita is my African name.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's an
Yeah.
Kama, there's like Kama Day.
Oh, yeah. I'm not in this. Oh, that's not. I'm not very.
It's funny, I saw all, you know all the kids that were on the holidays, I see them every day.
I'm born with the Krishna consciousness. Guru Puni, I'm already here. From birth. Take your time, man. No. I'm very inspired by Sachinanda Swami, but I'm not like officially inspired. No. I have a nice relationship with Maharaj, but I haven't like asked for anything officially yet. Make sure it's right. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Tu peux nous faire un café, donne-moi un café.